And now for our next news special report.
Good evening, my dear viewers who are on the brink of what might become one of the most defining moments in Israel's history, eerily echoing back to their iconic War of Independence. But rest assured, this isn't an isolated story unfolding in a distant land. It's intertwined with our own narrative. As Iran's war games crescendo in intensity and U.S. warships strategically position themselves, even our streets echo with pro-Palestinian chants. But beyond the political strategies and volatile war maneuvers, there's a looming question that every American must ask. How will this overseas conflict impact our day-to-day lives and our wallets? You'll want to stay tuned to grasp the depth and potential implications of this riveting tale. And as we close this special report, we'll leave you with a profound final thought, shedding light on why these global shifts are crucial for every American. And before delving into the Middle East complexities, let's discuss preparedness. Much like the Israeli Defense Forces, always being ready is key. This is where my Patriot Supply steps in. They're more than sponsors, they're champions of readiness. Supporting them also supports our journalism. And currently they're offering a 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food kit. In uncertain times, preparation is essential. Visit preparewithgary.com for this exclusive offer. Ensure your family's safety, mirroring how Israel protects its people. It's a wise choice. So tonight we delve into a situation that's gripping not just the Middle East, but the entire world. The Israel-Hamas conflict has escalated dramatically. Over the weekend, we saw Israeli cities struck by Hamas rockets, the damage, homes destroyed, several injuries, and a heightened sense of fear among the Israeli people. And while tensions soar, Hamas has proposed a hostage exchange deal with Israel. The IDF's response? They're calling the timing of this offer psychological terror and vow to explore all means to get their people back. Amidst this, Hezbollah is making its presence felt in the north. This entire situation paints a grim picture for Israel. Watch.
Let's take you live now to a news conference being held by the IDF spokesperson Daniel Hagari on Israel's war with Hamas. Let's listen in.
As well as infrastructure and positions of Hezbollah. The terror organization Hezbollah continues to operate against us in the north, and we are killing and eliminating anyone who operates against us. Any terrorist cell of Hezbollah who will come near the fence will be eliminated. In the home front, we continue to conduct a situation estimate constantly in order to continue with our routine in the shadow of the war. I remind you to always adhere to the instructions of the Homefront Command, follow the websites, and we will continuously update, improve, and fix any problems there might be in the app. We must be very alert. So far, the Israeli civilians have been behaving in an exemplary way. Carry on. So far, we've informed the family of 311 IDF fatalities and the families of 230 hostages. We embrace the families. We will continue to be with them the whole time. We are doing everything we can in order to bring the hostages back home. It is our greatest effort. The IDF troops are now fighting in the battlefield for that end as well. This morning, a new cohort of scouts and outlooks are being recruited to the IDF. We saw how wonderful and amazing they were on October 7th. They have a very important role in safeguarding Israel's security. They are deployed throughout Israel's borders. Over this coming month, we're going to continue with the November recruiting, IDF recruiting as planned. We will make the necessary adjustments to make sure that all those who are supposed to be recruited will be recruited as planned.
The Israel Defense Forces have taken the battle of Gaza with troops on the ground backed by air and sea. They're making their intentions clear. Notably, Major Ella Wawela, the highest-ranking female Arab officer in the IDF, made an urgent plea, marking October 7th as the day humanity's core values were brutally attacked. Watch.
The Army spokesperson, Admiral Hakari, repeatedly stated that what Hamas has done is not in line with Islamic teachings. What's your take on this?
What Hamas has done is against Islam, against humanity. what Hamas has done and what I've also seen in the videos is against everything a human being could possibly conceive. Hamas has crossed the line. They kill children, they kill women, they kill the elderly. In which religion is this written? Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, before every battle, what would he tell his soldiers? Do not kill an elder, do not kill a man, do not kill a woman, do not cut down a tree, even the tree. But even the dog wasn't safe from them at Hamas. You yourself saw the video of how they shot at the dog. Is this Islam? What I want to ask is this Islam? Definitely not. This has nothing to do with Islam, nor in humanity. I mean, I don't know where they got the heart and mind to even consider this kind of thing. October 7th, this date must be etched in all of humanity throughout history. Throughout all of history, for the crimes of Hamas, ISIS. And here lies all the pain. Every man, every woman, every person must see this. The horrific images, the horrific actions committed by Hamas, ISIS, they came to kill him. The one they came to kill, I mean, I even heard it in the video, in a call between one of these fighters, that they call them terrorist fighters. He talks to his mother and his father, who are also like him, it seems. They sent him so they could cleanse him. He tells them proudly, I killed 10 Jews. What, are you mocking? Are you mocking the act of killing?
Explain. Working again. What message do you want to convey to the Arab community that is angry, saying that Israel's war is not against Hamas, but against the innocents in Gaza? And of course, from the Arab sign, it incites them. What is your comment?
This is not Israel's war. This is war in which the whole world is involved. Terrorism must be combated. The world must fight back. Terrorism. The world must fight against the ISIS and Hamas. All actions that have occurred must be combated. Ultimately, the Israeli Defense Forces and Israel against the terrorist dens in Gaza. Even the residents of Gaza must be against the terrorist dens in their midst. This is necessary when we see whether the Israeli Defense Forces have nuclear power or whether it's in the instructions we're sending and the publications. The residents, what's happening? Hamas, the scourge, is taking their car keys from them in Gaza. They should leave their homes. So they leave them at home. So they leave them in front of, they leave them as human shields, as they say, like cannon fodder. Is this a war against civilians? Against the residents of Gaza? On the contrary, we are fighting the dens of terrorism. We are fighting the terrorist dens of Hamas. We do not want the ISIS of Hamas. Should anything else happen to the residents of Gaza or the innocents? No. Therefore, they must listen to all the instructions we provide through social media, through the broadcasts we give them on television, and through the channels. They should move to specific places where they are located and head to the southern region. This is our message and a message to the world. Don't forget October 7th. This is a day against humanity. And we will all stand united together to live in peace.
Now, on the front lines, the IDF operations have uncovered and struck a whopping 150 Hamas underground sites. These tunnels were more than just escape routes. They were havens for plotting, communication hubs, and storage for weapons. A notable achievement for the IDF was eliminating the terrorists overseeing Hamas aerial assets. Their reach also extended to a Hezbollah site in response to rocket attacks, a clear message that Israel is not limiting its focus to just one adversary. Now let's talk about Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He's thrown his weight behind his soldiers, assuring that Israel isn't standing alone. With international backing, Netanyahu has announced a second stage against Hamas, preparing everyone for a long-drawn battle. Watch.
Citizens of Israel, last night, additional ground forces of ours entered the gates of Gaza last night at the entrance of the stronghold of evil. This is the second stage of the war. Our objectives are clear: the destruction of Hamas's military and governmental capabilities, and bringing the captives back home. We have made the decision to expand the recruitment activity. phase one, also in the War Cabinet and also in the Security Political Cabinet.
Netanyahu also said in his first public remarks since the ground raids began on Friday that this is a second war of independence. Watch.
This is our second war of liberation. We are going to fight to protect the country. We're going to fight. We will not retreat by land, by sea, by air. We shall eliminate the enemy on top of the land and the bottom. And we shall prevail. It'll be the good over evil, light over darkness, life over death. In this war, we are standing together, united more than ever.
While this happens, Iran is flexing its muscles. The massive war games they've initiated, dubbed Authority 1402, sees a colossal display of military strength with over 200 helicopters, missile launchers, tanks, and more. They're sending a very clear signal. Commander-in-Chief Abdulrahim Mossavali's statement, "We are always ready to deal with threats," might as well be a direct challenge to Israel and its allies. Watch.
Inshallah, it will be flying and will be flying to other areas in the region of Nasrabad, Isfahan. I would like to tell you that one of the objectives of this exercise is to transfer and replace two armies. One is an offensive and one is an offensive army with more than 4 types, 2 groups and rear units. This exercise will be carried out from all over the country. 7 provinces are involved in this exercise. The provinces of Khorasan-e-Razavi, Semnan Tehran, Khuzestan, Loristan, Fars, and Isfahan. They are the only ones who will participate in this exercise, with what has been described to them to be present in this exercise.
The U.S., too, isn't a mere spectator. The Pentagon's deployment of 2 formidable aircraft carriers in the eastern Mediterranean's post-October 7th Hamas attack emphasizes their concern and intent. Their goal? To contain the conflict. However, on Israel's border with Lebanon, a mural portraying various terrorist groups, including Hamas and Hezbollah, paints a bleak picture. Hezbollah, known to be equipped by Iran, has hinted at joining the conflict. Now, the Bible's prophecies in Ezekiel 38 and 39 have always suggested a mounting tension between Turkey and Israel. Turkish President Erdogan's recent speech seems to echo that sentiment, framing Israel as the villain while lauding Hamas as freedom fighters. And his warning to Israel? It's chilling. Is this the hook in the jaw? Watch.
Speaking plainly now, bilhassa, past decade, whatever we did in the name of fighting terrorism, any level of success that we have achieved, despite these we succeeded, God willing, from now on as well. With the motto, we may come unexpectedly one night. Advancing on the path we cleared ourselves. We will continue.
Eli Cohen, Israeli foreign minister, reacting to the threats from Turkey, has called for a reassessment of diplomatic ties between the two nations. And on American streets, the wave of pro-Palestine protests can't be ignored. A chorus of voices calling for justice and an end to the conflict rises with every passing day. Cities from New York to Los Angeles are resonating with collective demand for change. Thousands are marching, holding placards and chanting slogans, asking the U.S. government to rethink its stance on the Middle East conflict. Watch.
Brooklyn Bridge, folks. Y'all got the bridge.
But here's the real kicker. It's not just about marches and slogans. This conflict, happening miles away, has the potential to leave a significant dent in our wallets. Well, how, you ask? Let's break it down. Looking beyond the immediate conflict, there's a looming economic shadow that threatens the U.S. If this conflict escalates, involving multiple nations, especially Iran, the world economy might take a hit. Oil prices are currently around $85 a barrel. They could spike, putting added financial stress on American households. The widening conflict in the Middle East might lead to increased inflation in the U.S., potentially even a global recession. The Federal Reserve, already grappling with inflation, could face even tougher challenges. The recent violence between Israel and Palestine is more than just a regional conflict. As Israel responds fiercely to Hamas attacks and external powers like Iran flex their military muscle, the situation grows increasingly complex. Adding to this mix is Turkey's veiled threats against Israel. As the world watches closely, the consequences of this conflict threaten to ripple out, affecting economies and, by extension, our wallets. So as we conclude our deep dive into this spiraling crisis, it's imperative for every American to understand that the maneuvers in the Middle East are not just a diplomatic chess move on a distant board. They have very tangible and real ramifications here at home. From the possible surge in oil prices affecting our daily commutes and household budgets to potential political and security implications, these overseas events touch the very fabric of our nation. It's not an overstatement to say that the ripples from this conflict could soon become waves crashing on our shores. In this age of global interconnectedness, no event is isolated and no nation is an island. It is our collective responsibility, our duty, to stay vigilant, informed, and prepared. For a rapidly changing world, our greatest defense is awareness and the resolve to act in the best interest of our nation and its people. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.